how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Persona 5 Scramble. So, we have just gotten some news from the people who are trying to release Persona 5 Scramble. Koei Tecm's first quarter financial statement has just been revealed, and by doing so, they've revealed that the game has been planned for a region release of Europe and America. So on their actual listings for their first quarter financial statement of next year, Persona 5 Scramble has been listed on there. So we can expect to have Persona 5 Scramble sometime at the beginning of next year. More than likely, it's not been set in stone the exact date of which it's going to actually come out, but we can expect a Western release of Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, to come out at some point, at least within mid to first quarter of next year. That's from what it sounds like they're going to be doing so far. This is the first time that a Western release of the game has been acknowledged following its Japanese launch February 20th, 2020. The Phantom Strikers was revealed back in April of 2019, and it is a hack and slash crossover, bringing Destiny Sword Wild gameplay to blah blah blah. Persona, we get that, but according to the financial report, the planned platforms from the game are PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, what Evolve means that we can expect a full official announcement of Atlus plans for Persona 5 Scramble's Western release in the near future. While there's no approximate release date to speak of, those of you hoping for Western release can rest assured that it's on its way. So it is confirmed on its way. We knew it was going to be coming out for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, but it sounds like they for sure have confirmed that it's going to be listing for both PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. So we have some news finally about this. I knew a lot of people were wondering. I mean, it came out basically so long ago, a couple months ago. I mean, more than that, more like 5 months ago. It came out for, you know, the Western release all the way back in February. Non-Western, Asian places got the game. So pretty crazy that it's been so long. I think people were expecting a month or two after the game released in Japan for it to come out in, America or something like that, or the rest of the world, or Europe, or wherever. I think many other people expected it to start coming out a couple months afterwards, seeing as how localization issues and everything else typically go just about that way. The game typically comes out in Japan first, and then we can expect it somewhere down the road, maybe a couple of months later, after they get all the voice work done, packaging together, change the labels to English, blah, 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 whatever language you're at, and then they ship it out. I think this is what they intended to do for this game. I think it was supposed to come out maybe during the summer of this year. Just seeing as how typically they don't take usually that long. Atlus has been pretty good at making sure that the games released pretty close to each other, but it seems like with this game it just wasn't happening. I think maybe because this is a lower end game, it's only sold 400,000 something copies in Japan, which does sound like quite a bit, especially with how each one's like $60. It made them a fair bit of profit, but in terms of game sales compared to like Persona 5 Royal or Persona 4 Golden on Steam, I mean, Persona 4 Golden on Steam is already like 6 or 7 times more than that. It just goes to show that the mainline games typically sell a bit better, so they're willing to maybe more streamline the game just for that. So we know that SMT5 is getting a worldwide release all at the same time, simultaneous worldwide release. So why wasn't this game like that? Like I said, maybe it was because of the game not being as big. It's kind of a spin-off. This is the first type of game that's kind of been like this with Persona series. We've seen fighting games, we've seen music games. Typically these, subgenre, these smaller ones, typically don't end up being games that they initially plan to have come out simultaneous. And they don't expect them to be as big because just looking at the data, they really aren't as big. So I don't think they're too worried about it being a simultaneous worldwide release. So that being, we can expect that, but it is a lot longer than even that typically. Normally it's just a couple months later, but this is actually going to be almost practically an entire year later. What I suspect and what I think has been going on with the whole world of things, the whole virus and everything else, don't blacklist me, YouTube, for saying that word, please. Drop a like, let this video get somewhere decently through the algorithm, please. But from how it looks is that maybe with the whole virus and everything else going on, it has been pretty difficult for studios to actually go in and dub. It's been hard to get voice work done because not every single voice actor in the modern day has a studio at home. Well, most of them typically do because a lot of them practice at home or they started at home making demo reels and stuff like that, but there's a lot of voice actors out there who just don't have the equipment to do it at home. They have to go in and do things like that. And with certain places and certain laws, especially Atlus in general, Atlus America, where the English game has been dubbed, is in California. If you guys know California, they have the most strict laws on banning people from going outside and doing things. There is a very good chance that it's because of some of those laws over there in California this is happening. Now, I'm not trying to say that it's good for California to have done this. I'm taking a neutral ground on this. I'm not saying what way is right, because we do want the voice actors to be healthy. It'd be so bad if one of them got sick and they, lost their lives trying to play a role. I don't really think that's worth it at the end of the day. It's just a video game at the end of the day. It's not really worth someone's life like that. So either way you take it, it's kind of hard to judge exactly what exactly happened and whether or not the whole voice acting thing was an issue here. We could expect that something like this was the reason why they didn't get time to voice act it. Same thing with Europe. They have some pretty strict laws. I just don't think that they have the capabilities of really dubbing the game. I mean, February 20th is when it came out in Japan. Typically, they start, doing things with the, dubbing around that sort of time the game releases in Japan first. They want to make sure it does decent in Japan first. They don't want to dub a game that they know is just going to flop. It's not like the main title games. They're kind of skeptical about it. Knowing Atlus and how they are with releasing games, it's kind of expected to come from them. I mean, that's just sort of how they are, and it's understandable. They're a small studio that's starting to become bigger, so they are starting to branch out, which I really appreciate. I'm going to have a video talking about that here soon, because I like talking about Atlus, and I like talking about what they're doing. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a lot more of their games coming out and being dubbed and being brought to new ports and different systems. That seems to be a thing that's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up having all the Persona games on many different consoles, including SMT games now, because they're trying to push that. I'm going to have a full-length video explaining all of this and how I think they're going to be doing things. It'd be nice if they give us a roadmap, but that's just kind of how Atlus is. But either way, going on a tangent there, Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, it looks like it's going to be coming out sometime next year, guys. I wouldn't expect it this year. There's a chance that it could be, but just from how things sound and with how the financial stuff is going on over there at Atlus and everything else, it sounds to be more like a first quarter slash, maybe second quarter game that is going to be releasing on 2021. That's where I'd put my money. That's where I'd put my bet. If this game was going to be coming out, I would bet that would come around during that time. But let me know what you guys think down below. I think this is a pretty crucial game, seeing as how Persona 5 Royal literally comes after this game, or literally, ends up being a sequel. This is a sequel essentially to the Persona 5 series. Persona 5 Royal, you play that first and then you go to Scramble. It's literally something that comes right after. It's technically considered a sequel. I mean, so is the dancing game, but this is more of an actual action game with cutscenes and everything else. This is a pretty important game, guys. So let me know what you guys think about this. Drop a like if you like this video. I know you guys like some of these Persona videos and I love doing them, but yeah, drop me a comment, let you know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already. Gonna have a lot more news coming out soon. Working on some more videos in the back burner. I've been trying to upload every 2 days. That kind of is how the pace of this channel has been going. I'd like to get on a good roll like that, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.